So let's talk about Bournemouth's technical director. Interesting developments tonight on this one. Bournemouth released a statement saying the club can confirm that first team technical director Richard Hughes will leave his position at the end of the season. Now, this has moved on to a few other bits and pieces. DiMarzio has said Richard Hughes is Liverpool's first choice for the sporting director role. Again, all this stuff kind of feels a bit but let me try tie it together for you. This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries or other streaming platforms like DAZN in Spain for all those important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. Everything. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe from being hacked if you use public Wi-Fi. Let's say you're in a cafe, you're at college, you're out and about, they've got you covered. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning you can share your account with friends or family or that neighbour who's a little bit cheap. On top of all of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also upgrade to Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, an alert system for breaches related to your data such as emails and credit cards, and an antivirus software for your desktop. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for a little over €2 a month and you'll get an additional 3 months free. Simply scan the QR code on screen right now or use the link in the description and enter the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. He informed Bournemouth of his willingness and want to depart. Anyone want to guess what month? I'll leave it with you because you're very clever people. But when do you think he may have told Bournemouth that he wanted to leave? Just pick a month and see if it correlates to what you think it's going to. Okay, I'll tell you. November. Does anybody else remember something else that happened in November? So Ben Jacobs said, it's understood Hughes, who's been linked with Liverpool and jobs in Italy, already knows his next role. Bournemouth have known since November that he was leaving. Could be a coincidence. And it could be. I'm not sitting here professing to know the answer to this. I don't. But another thing I will say is, do you remember a piece a while back? I want to accredit it to The Athletic, but I could be wrong. And the piece said, if Richard Hughes comes to Liverpool, it might be a good indication of Michael Edwards' willingness to come back. Because, of course, they are friends. They are acquaintances. And Richard Hughes is somebody that Michael Edwards holds in high esteem. So are we seeing a master plan coming together? Or is he going to end up elsewhere? Because there's some talk as well that Newcastle would like to bring him in to replace Dan Ashworth, who of course looks like he's going to go to Manchester United. So it's all very confusing at the minute, but slowly but surely, I guess, some form of a picture is starting to emerge. And at least we're better off than we were yesterday, where we were being frightened by Plettenberg about Alonso wanting to join Bayern. Now, I feel like Plettenberg's been wrong on a lot of stuff about Bayern in recent times, but I want to know how you guys are feeling about it. Do you think that Richard Hughes is that guy? Because truly, I don't know. I can give you some more background on him. So Roma are another club that are interested in Richard Hughes. Now, he speaks fluent Italian because of a spell playing with, I think, Atalanta, but certainly he speaks fluent Italian after a spell over there. And they say Roma are looking to replace Thiago Pinto, who left last month. Richard Hughes speaks fluent Italian after spending some of his youth in the country. Roma's former sporting director, Frederic Massara, now at AC Milan, has also been linked with Liverpool. He was involved in deals to sign Liverpool's Mohamed Salah and Alisson Becker during his time at the club. Richard Hughes received plaudits for his work during last summer's transfer window, signing Tyler Adams, Hamid Junior Traore, Alex Scott, Milos Kerkez, Justin Kluivert, Max Aarons, Enes Unal and Luis Sinisterra. So again, you can see he's made some decent signings. But I still don't know. I don't know if he's the one or not. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be Richard Hughes, or do you think this is a coincidence? Because I really don't know at this point. No world-class players in that list. And Alex Scott is a very good player who was highly sought after. And to be fair, you know, do you expect Bournemouth to be able to sign world-class players? Like, let's be realistic about it. Smallest stadium in the Premier League, small budget, no hope they're bringing in world-class players. But I tell you what, Sinisterra, decent player. Alex Scott, very good player. Max Aarons, pretty highly regarded. So I think he's done very well with the business he's done there on limited resources. So let's be fair about that as well. I still want Tim Steiten. He's definitely, let's be honest, we want anybody who we can directly link to Xabi Alonso, Ari. Let's be honest, whether it's Simon Rolfe, whether it's Tim Steiten, we're immediately looking for those connections to Alonso because we want to have that answer in our brains, don't we? But look, I can understand why you like Tim Steiten. His CV is pretty impressive. But how weird is it? And I said this to Connor earlier on. Yeah, how weird is it that we live in a world now where like sporting directors and technical officers are becoming like not celebrities, but more well known. Like Connor was saying, when he started growing up, he had no idea who owned or worked at Liverpool Football Club outside of the manager and the players. And these days, it definitely does feel like we're not only football fans anymore. We've got to be football fans, understand business, look at law, look at football finance, look at the laws of the game. It's way more robust is probably the word. Craig, a well-known journalist, can't remember which one, said Hughes is not going to Newcastle. Cool. Well, that somewhat helps Pranav. Once I seen that he told Bournemouth in November that he was leaving. But then again, think of it this way. If he did tell Bournemouth in November that he was leaving and Liverpool knew that he was who they wanted, why this protracted search? Why this hoping to appoint somebody by the end of March? Unless the club knew all along and everybody else was just guessing and making it up. But I don't know. It just feels like a really big coincidence or something very well worked by FSG in the background. And obviously I hope it's the very well worked by FSG. Hughes will not be joining Newcastle. Roma sources also downplay a move from Ben Jacobs. So now I think we can look at this poll again, and I think we've got to skew the vote here, because now it's looking to me more and more likely that we see Richard Hughes at Liverpool, because if he's not going to Roma and he's not going to Newcastle, where's he going? You know, Newcastle, they've been ruled out. United have got their sporting director. Not going to Roma. I don't know. Maybe it is sorted for him to go to Liverpool. Interesting. Now, I guess the next question I'd have is, if it is Liverpool, is he going to come in to work below Michael Edwards, or is he just going to come in because Michael Edwards has no interest in coming back to the club and he's somebody that the club obviously respect? It's an interesting one. Certainly starting to give a little bit more clarity, or potential clarity, I guess, to the situation. Why are Liverpool going after mid-table, behind-the-scenes people? Well, let's look at Michael Edwards. Worked at Portsmouth. I mean, you've seen what Michael Edwards done at Liverpool, Russell. Portsmouth, Spurs, Liverpool, and then worked his way up the ranks at Liverpool, 11 years at the club. I guess the club will look at a lot of different metrics to evaluate the candidates. Being able to, I guess, get value for money and work under challenging circumstances with maybe one financial hand tied behind their back is probably an appealing trait to FSG. Again, it's a sporting director. I don't know if there is a superstar sporting director that we could expect from anywhere. Ultimately, George Schmaka got some big signings over the line, right? So I think we've got to be somewhat mindful that these people often go unheralded. It's only in recent years we're starting to see since Monchi probably, the emergence of this new, I don't say new role, but new highlighted role in football. Did he buy Jordan Ibe from us? I don't know, but yeah, if he did, there's questions there. I said that to Connor earlier on as well. There was a couple of sales we made to Bournemouth that, let's be honest, we pulled their pants down a little bit on some of those fees. Get the West Ham one. They've only signed class players like Hughes, Paqueta, Alvarez. Again, I do like Tim Steiten. I like the fact that he has a prior relationship with Alonso. And as you've said, that CV of signatures since he's come into West Ham is quite long and pleasant. But also, I think you're forgetting that they had Declan Rice money to spend. So yes, they've been good signings, but again, he was given a much bigger budget in that role than Richard Hughes would have been at Bournemouth. So I think these things are all relative to some extent. But you are right, it's a pretty impressive list that Tim Steiten has signed since he's come into West Ham. Steiten signed De Bruyne, Kudus, Alvarez, Nkapie, Diaby, etc. He's one of Liverpool need. Talking like Hughes has done a recruitment job like Brighton. I'm not talking like anything, Russell. I feel like you're being very argumentative over this, mate. I'm saying you have to manage expectations for the budget he's working with at Brighton, or excuse me, at Bournemouth. I'm not making the appointment. It's not going to be me that makes the decision. But I can say to you without any hesitation that Michael Edwards would have given a glowing reference for this guy. And Liverpool will have done the research on him. And Liverpool will, I'm sure, be aware of what he's done and where he's worked and what markets he's friendly in. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like this is an email perhaps you need to write to John W. Henry, Russell. It's not me that's making this decision, mate. I'm with you. I like Tim Steiten. I like Simon Rolfes. But I don't know the answer.